Gamers! In this video, I'll be showcasing over 30 build ideas from IRL Farms and base designs to mine entrances and more. So if you're looking for some interesting and unique build ideas for your survival world, then you've come to the right video. Let's get started. For the first build, we have my first ever build. That's right, this little greenhouse right here is the first ever build I uploaded to my now non-existent Instagram account. Still haven't gotten that back. And here is a bit more of a recent greenhouse design that I've created. So similar to the previous build in that obviously it's a greenhouse, but this time it's actually more of like a house instead of shaped like, I don't know, whatever the hell the previous one was. And yeah. And also here is an underwater greenhouse as well because, you know, why not? As you can see, we have all these like separated little crop fields and then a whole bunch of tables with pot plants on them as well. For the next couple of builds, we'll be taking a look at a couple of IRL farms, and the first one here being a chocolate farm. So obviously it doesn't really do anything in Minecraft. It's mainly meant to just be purely aesthetic. And this is just kind of what chocolate farms look like in real life, where they have like all these trees where they like harvest the cocoa beans or whatever, and then they kind of have these pits where they mash all the stuff together. For the second IRL farm, we have this coffee bean farm. As you can see, we just have like this big old field filled with, well, you know, they're not coffee plants, they're sweet berries, because we don't have coffee in Minecraft, obviously, but yeah. For the third IRL farm, we have these fish farms. Obviously, there's no fish in here because I can't be bothered placing them all back in. But yeah, this is kind of what fish farms look like in real life. They have all these like big, giant, separated little squares, and they just completely filled with fish. It's honestly kind of sad looking at it. Yeah, we're gonna move on now. For the next IRL farm, we have this one, which originally was meant to be a farm that's not exactly legal. Yeah, I'm too scared to say what it is because YouTube has been going kind of crazy recently. So yeah, I'm not going to be taking the risk, but it ended up turning out pretty cool looking. We've got the big field of the crop here to the left. And then on the right, we have this big building where they kind of like store it and mash it up or whatever. I honestly don't know what they do, but yeah. And for the final IRL farm, we have this one, which you might be able to tell what this is meant to be. They're a plant that you can smoke, you know what I'm saying? And so we just have like this indoor hydroponic setup where we have all of these plants here with some water next to them. And then we have these separated ones on these tables as well, and we even have some shelves up here as well. For the next build, we have this ocean trader build, and the idea for this base is actually taken from the game Sea of Thieves. As you can see, we've named it the North Star Sea Post, which is from the game. And so basically it's just this giant rock in the middle of the ocean, and it has like a dock attached to it and a nice little trading stall as well. And then just as some bonus builds, we've placed a whole bunch of boats around this. As you can see here, we have like a pretty big like canoe style boat or something like that. I honestly don't really know what kind of boat this is meant to be. Over here we have a little bit of a bigger one. This one's more of like a canoe kind of thing as well. And then back over here towards the actual dock, we have a bigger boat again with like, yeah, I don't know how this would work. This is meant to be like a sail, but yeah, this one was made by Extra Builds, so we'll just blame him for that. And then we have all these other ships over here as well. I might as well just showcase these real quick. So we have a big old pirate ship here. We have even a smaller one over here, and then a second bigger one, and then another bigger one again. This one's actually modeled after the sloop from the game Sea of Thieves as well. And then over here we have like a survival raft as well, which is pretty cool. And for the next build, we have the upgraded ocean trader. So this is kind of the V2. As you can see, it takes up a much larger rock in the middle of the ocean. We have a massive dock this time that sprawls across the entire front area, and this is obviously like the boat parking area over here as well. And then as we come through this, we just have like a whole bunch of random little trading stalls just pretty much scattered everywhere throughout this little rock island thing. We've also got a little boat rack over here as well, and a nice campfire up here beside this palm tree as well. Next up, we're taking a look at a couple of different mine entrance designs, with this first one here being I don't know what to call this one. It's just a normal mine entrance, okay? So yeah, for this one, we've carved out like the side of like I guess a theoretical hill. As you can see, it's just this little section here. On the outside, we've added a couple of decorations around the place, like some chests and barrels and this nice minecart railway as well. On the inside, we've added this racing support thing too. For the next one, we have one that's pretty similar to the previous one, except it's a little bit more overgrown, I guess. And so we've just pretty much added a whole bunch of leaves around the place. We've added in some mossy cobblestone texture as well. Also, adding in some vines and glowberries will help make your mine entrance look a little bit more overgrown as well. For the third mine entrance, we have the Japanese themed one. So as you can see, we have like a bit of a torii gate at the entrance of this one. And then heading on inside, you know, it's just a pretty standard mine entrance. Yeah, we've got like a barrel pile over here and then just some random little crafting blocks as well. And for the final mine entrance, we have a desert themed one. So as you can see, we have these two little castle towers on the left and right side, and in between them is obviously the entrance to the mine. And yeah, we've gone with a little bit of like an Egyptian themed one with some chiseled sandstone here. And then we have this red sandstone as well in the middle of the tower here, and we have this nice little flag up here as well. Next up, we have my second build that I ever created. created, this one being a windmill design. We have this big old sprawling crop farm around the area, and then we have our, obviously, windmill in the center. A nice little detail that I added to this as well is having these little lampposts around the place, and also these scarecrow designs too. And next, just taking a look at another couple of windmill designs that we've made. This one here is made by Extra Builds, and as you can see, it's, yeah, it's pretty crazy. We've got like this multi-roofed freaking thing. I don't even know what this is like. I don't know. It's just so crazy. And then we have this ginormous wheat field around it as well, which is pretty cool. And then for this next build is one that I created, and this one was meant to be an upgrade to my second ever build that I showcased previously. So as you can see, we have a pretty similar design for a windmill here. It's a little bit more of an intricate design, and we also have this big old sprawling wheat field around the place as well. Next up, we have this arched overgrown pathway design that me and Extra Builds created very recently. And this one was actually built using a reference picture right here. We did change it up a little bit to make it our own. We made it a whole lot more overgrown. And yeah, I feel like this build could be a pretty nice kind of pathway that could lead up to your base or something like that. Next up, we have this lakeside base design. As you can see, it is pretty simple, but pretty cool looking. We added like this massive window here, and that obviously lets you see inside of the entire base. Over here, we have this like toggleable armor stand lighting up thingamajiggy. I honestly don't know why anyone would build that. And then over to the left of the base, we have the storage, the crafting, the smelting, and everything, and then also our bedrooms in here. And so that previous build was a bit of an old one, so we recently decided to upgrade it into a bit of a bigger and crazier build here. As you can see, we have a way bigger front area. We've added a nice little dock in front of it as well. Heading on inside, as you can see, we have these modular sections. On the left side, we have a wheat field. Then we have our storage, smelting, enchanting, bedroom, crafting, more storage, and then more indoor crop farms as well. Next up, we have this medieval landscape that was built using this reference picture here. I just found this on Reddit and thought it would be really nice to recreate in Minecraft. As you can see, we added these nice little crop fields. We have a big river here that stems from this like waterfall. And then we have a pathway that goes through pretty much that entire thing and leads up over to this medieval wall over here as well. Next up, we have this mountainside base created by Extra Builds. He gets full credit for this. I did not help with this at all. I just thought I'd showcase it because I really like the design of it. And as you can see, if we come back, yeah, the facade is broken. It's on this giant floating slab of stone. Yeah, just don't worry about it. So taking a look on the inside, as you can see, we have an indoor aquarium here. We have some nice shelves with some random stuff as well. On the second floor here, we have our smelting, and then also our bedroom on the first floor. Obviously not the most efficient base interior. It's meant to be pretty much aesthetic, but yeah, it looks pretty cool in the end. Next up, we're taking a look at a grand total of 7 wall designs real quick. So for the first one here, we have like a dark medieval themed one. This one was also created by Extra Builds. Then we have my version of a dark medieval wall. It's a little bit different, pretty similar, but yeah, as you can see, there's the differences. Then we have Extra's version of a Japanese themed wall, and then once again behind that, here is my version. Honestly, I think I like mine more. We have like this retaining wall here, and then on top of those, we have like some pot plants. I think it looks pretty nice. And then over here, we have another Japanese wall. I don't know, this one isn't really complete. I just thought I'd show it anyway. I mean, the roof does look pretty cool for this one. Then for the second last wall, we have this nature themed one. As you can see, it's mainly, I mean, not really much of a wall. It's more so like a cliff face. And then on top of that, we also have this nice custom tree as well. And then for the final wall, we just have this nice and simple modern themed one. All right, and so that pretty much does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.